People rally against budget cut at Oklahoma's Capitol. A prominent Republican senator calls it quits, and we begin our look at SGA candidates. This is OU Nightly.
People are looking to make their voices heard at the Oklahoma Capitol today. In the wake of pending budget cuts to health and social services programs, thousands of people are urging legislators to block the proposed cuts.
Yes, protesters chanted "Save Our Services" today regarding funding for all the mentally ill, the disabled, and poor children and seniors. The legislature resumed its special session today to find ways to solve a $250 million hole in the budget. More on that coming up later in the show. But it's been chilly outside.
It has been chilly.
But the sun is still shining.
It is, but that wind is really picking up. Kaylee, what can you tell us?
Yeah, guys, you heard it here first. We are having winds out there that are whipping right now. 29 miles an hour out here in Norman. All of those coming from the north. That is why our temperatures, even though it's nice and sunny outside, we are seeing those really cool temperatures for today. We are having those winds, and they're coming out of the north, up pretty high, 37 in Dallas too, but they will calm down through the evening. Right around here in Oklahoma right now, we're seeing gusts up to 21 miles an hour in Norman, 19 out here in Enid, a little bit even up here in the Panhandle too, 22 miles an hour, little calmer down into the south, so it is a little warmer down there. But for us here in Norman, those winds are keeping us nice and chilly for today. However, they are going to back off a little bit for tonight. We're going to warm up for tomorrow, but I'll have more on that coming up next.
Thank you, Kaylee. 3 Oklahoma City elementary schools are getting a name change. The school board voted Monday to rename the Lee, Stonewall Jackson, and Isaac Stan Wadey schools because they are names of former Confederate generals. The board called to rename the schools after the violence in Charlottesville, Virginia, over the removal of the Robert E. Lee statue. The district is doing an online survey to find new names for the schools.
Aniq Zoha joins us in the News Center with more information on the future for Jeff Flake. Aniq.
Thanks, Ashley. Arizona Senator Jeff Flake announces he will not seek re-election due to the policy differences he has with President Trump. Flake says he cannot stand by his fellow Republicans while Trump is in office.
Most often for the pettiest and most personal reasons having nothing whatsoever to do with the fortunes of the people that we have been elected to serve.
Flake's departure leaves an open seat in the Senate which will either benefit or hinder the Trump administration. And Canada and Mexico are exploring new trade ties after the Trump administration announced 2 major proposals to NAFTA. NAFTA is a trade agreement between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico that has been in effect since 1994. If NAFTA falls apart, taxes on imports from Mexico and Canada could skyrocket exponentially. And CNN reports the U.S. troops that were ambushed in Niger were collecting intelligence on a local terrorist leader. On Monday, Joint Chiefs Chairman Joseph Dunford provided new details about the attack by ISIS fighters that claimed the lives of 4 U.S. soldiers. Dunford states U.S. troops requested help nearly 1 hour into the attack and that there is no indication troops were operating outside their orders at the time of the ambush.
I don't have any indication right now to believe or to know that they did anything other than operate within the orders that they were given. That's what the investigation's all about.
Dunford says the military will continue its investigation. And Senator Tom Tillis went to lunch with Republican lawmakers carrying a bag of popcorn, ready for President Donald Trump's visit to Capitol Hill after feuding with Senator Bob Corker this morning. Trump accused Corker on Twitter of fighting his plans for tax reform. The Tennessee Republican then took to Twitter to call Trump an utterly untruthful president. And Ashley, Tillis affirmed that the popcorn was in preparation for the lunch that will include both Trump and Corker, and even tweeted a picture of himself at the popcorn machine.
Thank you, Aniq. Tulsa's homicide count is on the rise following 2 separate fatal shootings. Officers arrested 30-year-old Raymond Rivera yesterday on a first-degree murder complaint for the shooting death of an unidentified man. On Saturday, police arrested 19-year-old Abraham Ordana on a manslaughter charge involving the shooting death of 16-year-old Octavio Serrano. Tulsa has recorded 71 homicides to date. That's 10 shy of last year's record.
And the estate of a man shot and killed by an Oklahoma Highway Patrol officer in 2014 settled a lawsuit for $175,000. Joshua Stan was killed by trooper Jared Martin, who had responded to a call about a man walking in the street with a weapon. The lawsuit filed in 2016 claimed Martin used objectively unreasonable and excessive deadly force. The Attorney General argued that Stan was known to be unstable and violent and waved a knife at Martin.
A 13-year-old Chandler teen is under arrest for killing 10-year-old Austin Almanza with a crossbow arrow. Almanza died Saturday after the unarmed teenager fired the arrow, which went through Almanza's body and then hit his brother in the arm. A Lincoln County sheriff said it was not because of an accident, but happened during a dispute involving the three boys. It's being investigated as a homicide. The county prosecutor will decide later what charges will be filed.
And so the coming OU Nightly, the search for OU's president is coming along.
Plus, one SGA candidate's plans on his campaign moving forward. Stay with us.
Well, the search for the University of Oklahoma's next president is moving forward. An Oklahoma City banker and a college dean will lead a 17-member search committee that will review candidates. The OU Board of Regents named the committee members in a special meeting last night. Current OU President David Boren announced his plan to retire last month.
Candidates running for the OU Student Government Association president and vice president participated in a debate last night hosted by the SGA Election Board. This week, OU Nightly will be introducing each of the presidential candidates. We begin with Dan Williams, who is running alongside VP candidate Lauren Linus. We asked Williams about the challenges ahead.
I believe the biggest challenge facing SGA right now is communication from SGA with the students. We've done a lot over the past few years to improve the link we have with the students, but I still think we have a lot to go. And I think most of that has to come from our part. We can hold as many town halls as we want, but we also have to go to student organizations here on the campus. And I think that's something my campaign wants to address. We really want to invest in the RSOs we have here, get them excited about participating with SGA, and make sure that the students know that their government here is to help them. I've been in Congress for a really long time, 2.5 years now, ever since I first became a freshman here. And while in Congress, I've listened to the issues that the students care about. Sustainability, mental health, sexual assault on campus. And these are issues that I've worked to address in Congress, but I've felt, I'm one voice of 48 in Congress. And I feel like if I had administration behind me, I'd be able to address these issues that students are asking us about.
And tomorrow on OU Nightly, we'll hear from presidential candidate Yasin Sherbahi. And a reminder for those eligible to vote, the election is next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. That's October 31st and November 1st.
And now Olivia Whitehead joins us in Tech Report with more on why Amazon will soon have new job opportunities. Olivia?
Amazon is taking Prime service to the next level. Their plans for a second headquarters have sparked interest in regions across North America. 238 cities are vying for the opportunity to host the tech giant's new location. Amazon expects to create as many as 50,000 high-paying jobs. And crime rates could decrease with a new dash cam created by Kobin Technologies. These new cameras are set up to identify cars and other objects for now, but could be modified to spot suspects through facial recognition. The cameras would cut down the analyzing process for police departments by making it instantaneous. Vice President Dee Butala of NVIDIA and Kobin Partner said with 1 billion cameras coming to smart cities by 2020, you would need 3 billion people to watch these cameras. That is not a practical way to do this. Still, there are questions about whether citizens' privacy is at risk with government cameras that could track their every move. And to put a smile on your face, a new mirror was created to show your reflection with a certain expression. The plug-in device has a camera in an opaque surface that transforms into your reflection when triggered by a smile. Research shows smiling can boost immunity and relieve stress. The concept was designed to uplift cancer patients but can be purchased by anyone. So what do y'all think about this new tool that's kind of helping boost happiness?
I love it. That's pretty creative, honestly.
Everyone needs one.
Everybody needs a smile now and then.
Everyone needs one. Especially you, since you're kind of feeling a little sick today.
Oh, man. Well, I guess I'll smile more.
A little rough.
Thank you, Olivia. Well, good news for Tulsa. Dish, the TV pay provider, is expanding and creating 250 new jobs. The company currently has more than 600 employees in Tulsa and plans to expand its current operations. The new jobs include sales, management, human resources, and customer retention positions. Still ahead on OU Nightly, a former Sooner is not happy with the role on his team.
Plus, Kaylee Nix is here with the weather.
That's right, we've got some sunny skies out there today, but those cool temperatures, I'll tell you if they're going to stick around, coming up next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Kaylee Nix here with a look at some really beautiful skies right now. We're taking a look out at the Gaylord Family Memorial Stadium, and it is absolutely gorgeous outside if you were just to look outside, but you walk out and it is windy and it is cold for right now. We are seeing temperatures right about in the mid-60s right now. Those winds out of the northwest at 17 miles an hour. So like I said, chilly feel for this fall day, even though it's nice and sunny outside. Across the rest of the country, it is pretty much the same. We are seeing a really cold blast right here across the Great Lakes region, 45 in Chicago right now. There's a system over the Great Lakes that is dumping some rain that could even possibly transition into snow later on in the week. And as that system continues to push through, we're going to see it bring in some more colder temperatures for us here in Norman. Right now, we've got a nice area of high pressure centered over Texas that is keeping us nice and clear for the rest of our time right here. But this cold front makes its way down through the northern plains into Kansas and then down into Oklahoma through Friday morning. And as it moves through, those temperatures are going to drop back right to they were earlier this week. So we're going to see that system move out as well, possibly triggering some showers along it over in the southern region. But that high pressure system is going to take over again for us here in Norman, keeping us clear but cold. For tonight, our lows across the state, we're going to see temperatures all the way down into the upper 30s, coming up on that first freeze, but not quite yet. Our normal is 49 degrees for this time of year. And as you head out the door in the morning, we're going to see 63 at noon, warming up to 74 tomorrow for your high. So a little bit warmer than it was today, 70s pretty much across the entirety of the state, warmer than average for tomorrow. And those winds are going to shift direction coming out of the west now instead of the north, which is going to keep it a little bit warmer. Looking ahead into the next 2 days, we are going to warm up tomorrow, but those gusty winds return for Thursday, pushing that cold front into our area. And here we see the front move on in. 51 on Friday, 53 on Saturday for your game day. And then those 60s, they stick around for the rest of the weekend as well, making for a pretty cool Halloween for us here in Norman.
I do not mind the cool temps.
Yeah, I mean, the wind's a little, I don't know how I feel about the wind, but.
No, it messed up my hair today.
Yeah, same. So.
As long as it's sunny, I'm cool with it.
Honestly, though, no rain.
Thank you.
Well, the long-awaited Fall Classic is finally set to begin tonight, and man, I am excited.
Collin Kennedy is here with more.
Guys, this series has all the makings of a fun one. Great hitting, great pitching, and two emotional rosters going at it. Should be great to watch, however. Sooner fans just want to watch their team without almost suffering a heart attack. They take on Texas Tech this Saturday, and I'll tell you all about it and more because sports is straight ahead. Welcome back. OU football is finally back in Norman after trips to Dallas and Manhattan, Kansas. Now the Sooners have a homecoming matchup with Texas Tech after struggling defensively the past couple weeks. And plenty of questions surrounding the secondary. OU has to be ready for the air raid offense that the Red Raiders will bring to the table. However, the Sooners will have a loud and rowdy homecoming crowd ready to have their back.
It's one that playing against the Texas Tech team, a night game, one of the last home games that we have. It's going to be a great one. Normally, you know, sitting around the hotel is not fun, but then come game time, you feel the atmosphere. It's just different when the lights come on and everybody's in the stadium and it's rowdy. So I'm looking forward to, you know, having a great crowd.
Last night, two members of the Swingin' Sooner baseball team joined Sooner Sports Pad. You can see Devin Perez and Lane Ramsey discuss their new head coach and more right after this newscast. Monday Night Football featured two NFC East rivals facing off. The Eagles and Redskins were stuck in a back-and-forth brawl until Carson Wentz decided he had enough. Wentz threw 4 TDs while being pressured all night long. One reason for that was losing 9-time Pro Bowl left tackle Jason Peters, who went down with an apparent knee injury. Despite that, the Eagles continued to fly for a 34-24 win. They now have the best record in the NFL at 6-1. One Eagle and his wife had a pretty good week. Eagles tight end Zach Ertz and U.S. women's soccer player Julie Ertz showcased their family talent. Zach Ertz had 89 yards and a TD on Monday Night Football, while Julie Ertz scored for the U.S. women's soccer team Sunday against South Korea, making plays definitely runs in this family. Some other NFL news is former Sooner is upset. Bengals running back Joe Mixon voiced his frustration after complaining about not getting enough touches. Mixon carried the ball 7 times during the game against the Steelers and shared his concern after the game. Bengals head coach Marvin Lewis fired back at Mixon, saying he needs to show some more maturity. The World Series is finally here, and this matchup should be a great one. The LA Dodgers and Houston Astros begin the Fall Classic tonight at 7:09. The Dodgers have home field advantage after finishing with the best record in the Bigs. This is their first appearance in the Classic since 1988. Meanwhile, the Astros will be fighting for their first title in franchise history. The talented rosters will surely create plenty of entertaining plays, but the most entertaining play of them all is always featured, as you know, in your favorite segment. It's time for Top Play Tuesday. We break down the top plays in sports. This one comes from Bolu Olorunfemi. First off, great name for a running back, Olorunfemi, as he's going to take the handoff here, and he's going to climb the ladder over the defender into the end zone for the touchdown. Woo, boy, that is getting up. Let me tell you something. That defender thought he had him dead to rights, but he was jumping to conclusions. Look at that athleticism right on the shoulder into the end zone. That is impressive and reminds me of a good old song, Lean on Me.
Jumping to
When
conclusions, I
you're
love it.
not strong.
Okay, enough
I'll
singing,
be
Collin.
your friend.
You're a sports guy. Anyways,
Yep.
we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Oh, United's Harlee Toothman was on hand earlier today for the protest and has this report on what is being called one of the largest Capitol rallies ever held.
Save our services! Save our services! Save our services! Save our services!
Despite the 40-degree weather and winds close to 20 miles per hour, thousands gathered outside the Capitol on Tuesday morning for the Save Our Services rally. The rally was organized after the Oklahoma Department of Health and Substance Abuse Services announced on October 18th that all state-funded outpatient services would be ending. This because of severe budget cuts.
As an ER nurse and as a nurse in general, having people cut our services to our community members and our friends, our family here in the state of Oklahoma is a crisis. We are actually in crisis mode.
The rally began at 10 a.m. with some people standing outside in line hours before. The Facebook page, where the rally started, brought people of all ages from all parts of Oklahoma, bringing with them different signs in hopes of a more peaceful protest. The 3rd and 4th floors of the state capitol reached maximum capacity, and officials had to move some advocates outside.
It is terrible that we are putting people through this and the worry that's happening, not only for the consumers and those that are receiving services, but all of the state employees and those that work for the state of Oklahoma. If these cuts happen, this is going to be a huge economic impact on top of everything else.
In addition to the rally, protesters were asked to wear green and red to show support of mental health and addiction services.
We're out here in our shirts and trying to make sure that they understand that this is an important issue and we need to be heard.
With more than 95,000 Oklahomans struggling with mental illness, these cuts will impact 1 in 4 residents. Harlee Toothman, OU Nightly.
If no additional funds are provided, these budget cut plans will start in the first week of November. And in related news, the state Supreme Court today tossed out another revenue measure passed the legislature. In a 6-3 decision, the High Court ruled new registration fees on electric and hybrid vehicles are unconstitutional. The court earlier rejected the cigarette tax for the same reason. Today's ruling will add another $500,000 to the current budget gap.
And you might go skydiving for your birthday if you're 24, but what about 94? A Pennsylvania woman, Isla Campbell, thought the perfect way to celebrate what she calls making it for another year was to take a 10,000-foot plunge. Campbell shared the experience with her granddaughter and great-granddaughter. After the jump, Campbell described the free fall as a kind of wow and said she wouldn't mind skydiving again.
Well, we got quite the tornado scare on Saturday night.
We sure did.
And I think your weather fact ties into that a little
Let's
bit,
hear
does
about
it?
Yeah, guys, so on average, actually, Oklahoma averages 56 tornadoes a year, but this year we've had 81 tornadoes, including that one that was rated an EF1 that took through Cleveland County on Saturday night.
That's scary.
That is
Yeah.
crazy.
It popped out of nowhere.
But luckily, the right precautions were taken, the university got the alert, and no one was hurt.
Here, the Beach Boys were having a concert at the Riverwind Casino.
At the same
And
time.
the governor was there.
Exactly, and it started leaking, had to evacuate everybody. I was getting all the notifications on my phone as Collin and I were driving back from Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thankfully, no one
Thank you
was
very
hurt.
much.
Thank
Well,
you.
thanks for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by Gaylord College here at the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night, live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.